jobs and how many young people will not be able to get a job. And we need people also in rural areas. That's the huge problem and huge discussion. How it will go is not clear yet. There is 8.5 million hectares of forest and 1.5 million they want to exclude from active management. So is that the way for restoration? And why to do this restoration? Of course, in actively managed forests, what is the point of restoration? Some structural elements, some species are missing in managed forests, and that is the problem. But is the solution to exclude completely forest from management? Do we have any other way to restore these species and these structural characteristics? That is the question. However, I don't see much discussion in that area. So that is the problem. In the history, we have one extreme approach with clear cuttings and monocultures. Now we are swinging from one side of the pendulum to the other extreme, where we want to exclude forests from management completely. So there is no middle way. There is no discussion how to solve it by managing forests. And that is, I'm sure that foresters are ready to learn. It is just a question that there is a lack of proper communication between forest practitioners, forest managers and owners, and conservationists, ecologists, and people who are sitting on the opposite side. So there needs to be improved communication. That's my opinion.
Of course. Thank you very much for this one. I think that we are quite nicely wrapping this up. I will just like to add also to think about a little bit about passive restoration, which is also being pushed from the nature conservation point of view, but what is actually the possibility to retrieve quite good resilient forests out of that is another question for the media.
I mean, there's just one thing. Recently, when we were at the conference in Bonn, EFI, and that is also one good, maybe the best approach, but I don't see it much in the discussion in Bonn, at least. That different approaches are possible even within one forest district. Let's say 20,000 hectares. Or maybe less, maybe a little bit more. But you can have on these 20,000 hectares monocultures and plantations. And then you can have something like shelter with managed forests or even single tree selection management in mountainous regions or wherever shade species are. You can have both. So the problem. And then you can reserve some areas for strict protection. It's also possible. It is just a matter if foresters are willing to accept such approach. It is integrated forest management, but that takes a little bit of courage and a little bit of willingness to do it. We will see if it will be realized.
Yeah, it's a lot bitter cake to be swallowed, then it will be easier to take different bites. Yeah.
Sometimes what's good in the mouth is not good in the stomach. Vice versa. Sometimes it's bitter, but it is good for your health.
Yeah, so you are referring to landscape restoration, yeah, of course. But can we now go to Croatia, to Dr. Medak? Can you maybe, because I see these quite interesting things happening, can you maybe refer to the same question from Croatia as well?
Yes. Well, just something for introduction. Maybe, let's say, more than 10 years ago, I joined this process of implementing the Natura 2000 in Croatia. And I have to admit, since then, and it's more than 10 years ago, I always feel somehow in debate, and I'm always skipping from affirmative side to negative side, which means not only between foresters and nature protection, but also among the foresters. So, well, being in vegetation science, it's very easy. It means you have some plant composition which are adapted to certain sites on ecological demands, and that's it, and that's how it goes. And this was, Sylvia was talking about the restoration. It looks, I mean, it seems really step forward. So it means that we have to think about the future ecological conditions, and then we just need to choose certain plants who will be adopted in the future, not at this moment, but later, because we know the situation, how it will be. And then we skip to conservation. So, I mean, nature protection, but in Croatia, this is, well, it's very rigid. And it's always meant in the term of conservation. So, if we want to conserve certain habitats, then we should either do nothing or do very intensive work. And sometimes I really agree. There are certain species and certain habitats which are very much in danger. And it's really noble and it's very important that we preserve them. But when we come to the, let's say, forestry and this situation, so Barbara explained nicely how we will turn a certain poplar stand to the oak stand. So it means that we shift from Natura 2000, the alluvial forest, to riparian forest, which is not good. So we lose certain area in habitat type, which is very important. Priority habitat type. Priority means that we are actually protecting 80% of this habitat. And if you lose just a few hectares, it could be a problem. But if you see it from the side of vegetation science or from this restoration idea, then it's just normal, it's natural. So this is something that I see problems in the future. At least in the countries like Croatia or maybe Romania, because this is discussion that we had last night, where we say, I also want to refer about this area that we should totally, put out of management. Well, I said, okay, 10%, and then Romania said, well, we will probably have at least 12%. And then Western part said, yeah, we will wait what you will do, and then we will take less. So, well, at the end, it's much of the policy.
Not on the national level, but on the European level, and how we should split it in between is a problem also.
Yeah, but in between countries, we always take it as a national level.